right? So this tells me that something dealing with the queen is Masonic in nature. And that is under the orders of ENLIL, this ENLIL, and the queen mother working together, right? But she ain't really working with him. I can't see what's in the middle, so I can't really tell you. And this is Sophia. This is wisdom under the shield. This Sophia, wisdom under the shield. That means that whatever this is, the war, right? The war is more important than raising the people. That's what this is saying. Now look, these exact two things right here. So this is telling me, out of wisdom, the money has the woman bound. Right? That's ENLIL. All day long. This is signature. So now, that made me want to go back to Boaz. Who can I identify? The blue. Right? I identify the blue. What else can I... There's not a lot to identify Boaz. But see how ENLIL is? He a peacock. You see how elaborate his is compared to Enki? He's a peacock. But look on the top. That's the top of the papal crown right there. That's the top of the papal crown right there. That's not the queen's crown. Now remember I told y'all I was looking for the crown with the ball on it and the cross. Remember? The ball and the cross. Now, let's go back. See? The ball and the cross. Right? So now, I got two parts of this three-part crown. If I can find the other part in the course of this, I don't have to get 33 knocks because I assembled the crown. Right? Now, I'm already in the numbers so astronomical, and I stopped taking count of knocks. Right? Because I think I got like 12 of them, but I'm pretty sure I'm up there. Now, we go to the barristers. Why do we go to the barristers? Because the Queen of England, hold on. We went over that. The Queen of England is the only one who can knight a barrister. The barristers are titles of nobility, right? So when you go into court, and you got a judge that's an honorable, you got a prosecutor and an attorney that's an esquire. That's an automatic conflict of interest. They represent the same people. Okay, now I got to go back to that seal. No, I don't. I ain't finna go through that. I wanted to go back and look for the, so now, as I scroll up, we see I had more posts that I put in, and then when I got up this morning, this. That means that I did my part. I did my part. I identified everything I needed to. Now I'm doing what you call assignments. This is an assignment to expose the Obama situation so y'all can understand it better without take the spooky shit out of it. That's all I'm trying to do. Take the spooky shit out of it. Now, let's go to, okay, now, let's look up Rosemary's Baby, the movie. I got another post that got all that stuff on it, but I think it'll just be faster for me to pull Rosemary's Baby up. Now, first of all, it was based on a true story. And this is where it gets interesting. Okay, in 1968, director Roman Polanski name jumped out and popped me in the head out the gate. Roman Polanski, hold on, people. This is an important call. Hold on. Excuse me, y'all. I didn't mean to do that. That was an anomaly. All right, Roman Polanski got my attention because he was part of the. He was one of the he was part of the Manson's situation. So I'm gonna write his name here. I directly, automatically have to write Charles Manson name down. All right. Now, we just talking about Barack Obama being Rosemary's baby, and now I got 3 anomalies that need to be investigated. The Roman Polanski angle, I have to resolve that as an issue, and I have to resolve the connection with Charles Manson. But let's see what we see in here. Okay, so director Roman Polanski adapted it. That means he changed it. Rosemary's Baby for Paramount Pictures. Ira Levine died in 2007. Look at the name. Ira Levine. The Irish Levite. That's what that name is. But that's not a hit on nothing yet. Taking with him the truth about just how much Rosemary's Baby is inspired by other stories. So he was a writer, right? He was a writer, Ira Levine, that wrote the story Rosemary's Baby. Okay, now so let's get into the nuts and bolts of Rosemary's Baby, because the precursor to Rosemary's Baby was called the Demon Seed. But first we're gonna get into Rosemary's Baby. Now remember, the Obama's birth certificate had already been proven to be a fraud, and this is why. Where we going now is why his birth certificate was a fraud. Rosemary Baby is a 1968 American psychological horror film with elements of supernatural horror, written and directed by Roman Polanski. Based on Rosemary's Baby, the book by Ira Levine. The cast features Mia Farrow. Now that Mia Farrow name get my attention because Mia Farrow is married to Woody Allen. I think his name is. Yeah, Woody Allen. And she left him because he imported him a girl. So Mia Farrow is one of the masters just pointing my attention to child sex trafficking. Then you got John Cassavetes. Then you got Ruth Gordon. Well, get my name is Ruth being a Masonic name, right? Flash Gordon of the 25th century, being a person from the future that's trying to save the galaxy from the destruction of wickedness, right? So that got my attention there, but that's still not enough to take it further than that. Sidney Blackmer, Maurice Evans. Now look, Sidney Poitier, Blackmer. This is a black person in name. We talking one drop of blood doctor. This is a Moor. The film chronicles the story of a pregnant woman who suspects that an evil cult wants to take her baby for use in their rituals. So initially thought that it was the cult that was something wrong with, and they was trying to do some kind of evil rituals with her baby, right? But if you go down further, in 1965, Guy and Rosemary Woodhouse, that got my name. The Rosemary and the Woodhouse, right? That's a part of the Rosemary's Baby movie. Now, how do we connect it with Barack Obama? We have to find the jackal. So how do we find the jackal? Scroll down. Go up here, click finding page, type in jackal. It didn't show up. Okay, I noticed that Jack Nicholson was in here. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It was some anomalies I seen earlier. I'm probably wearing down now from going over all this stuff. Go down some more. So I want to get to the part where Evans admires Polanski's European film and hope he convinced him to make his American debut with Rosemary's Baby. He knew oh, by the way, Roman Polanski was his wife died in the Manson murders, and he was about to come back over here, and he decided not to come back to America because they was going to charge him with statutory rape on a minor for getting her pregnant, I believe. I'm not going to look Roman Polanski up right now, but when we start doing this in lecture form and book form, it's going to be a whole lot more fluid than this. This is just me studying and y'all just coming along for the ride to see how this is done. What's the time it is? Alright, so I've been over here a little over an hour, right? I want to get a little more into this, why did I pull that out? Into this Barack Obama thing, right? Let me show you. Okay, they're talking about the casting. I'm not concerned with the casting. I want the plot. I want to get to the okay. Here we go. The plot. Okay. Three months later, Hutch dies. Before dying, he manages to briefly gain consciousness. Okay, now let's go here. One night, they plan to conceive. So the baby is playing. I'll tell you that right here. In the movie, the baby is a plot. It's a plan. Right here. Plan. That means they already know a baby gonna be made. Alright? Then it say, Minnie brings them individual cups of chocolate mousse. Chocolate mousse is another thing that they call adrenochrome. Because they this is actually made with a combination of chocolate, pureed infant livers, and tortured baby blood that they call adrenochrome, and they chill it, and then they give it to you as they call it chocolate mousse. That's what they do in their blood rights. Rosemary passes out and experiences a dreamlike vision in which she is raped by a demonic presence. Now, remember I told you that this book, or this story, is preceded by one called The Demon Seed. Now, let's go back. Right here, his conception was portrayed in Demon Seed as a computer human byproduct. When they say computer human byproduct, they mean a non-African that was made in Babylon, a pale-skinned European. So when we go over here, we click on here, and we put in, let's see, that was Demon Seed. And we go see what this movie is about. Now remember, we studying Rosemary's Baby, but the anomaly took me right to this movie, The Demon Seed. Now, let's see if we can get a synopsis of what this movie is about. Right? It says, child psychologist. Excuse me, y'all. Me and this phone, we be going through a thing. We don't always get along. But at least y'all been able to hear me today. This. Alright. Flip that back around there. Alright, look. Child psychologist Susan Harris, played by Julie Christie, lives with her husband, Alan Fritz Weaver, right? Now, this don't seem like nothing right now. But for me, Fritz takes me back to wrestling for other reasons, right? In a home operated by a computer program. Now, this is taking you to the Matrix and artificial intelligence. It says, when Alan invents Proteus 4, an artificial intelligence system capable of advanced thought, Alan's obsession with technology strains his relationship with Susan. Right? Now, the name Susan. Sue, sign. She told me don't deal with that name right now. She said I gotta do that another time. Alright, so here the release date is April 8th, right? 1977. Now this is getting my attention because of the 2 sevens. Now remember, it was a different thing, entirely different thing that was still 1977 we dealt with earlier in the video. So if I was doing this in without going over it with y'all, I will go back to that and determine what it was before I move forward. April is the 4th month. Now we're talking 48. That's 4 years. That's 4 quarters. That's 4 12s. Right? It's 4 12s. Then it says box office, it made 2 million USD, United States denomination. Director was Donald Conwell. Now, let's get to what it say about the plot of the movie a little bit deeper. I'm going to go to the Wikipedia page on the movie. Now, we finna deal with the demon seed, and then we're going to go back to Rosemary's Baby, because I got to show y'all how this Obama. Now, let's go for a recap before we get into the demon seed. We already determined Barack Obama's birth certificate is a fraud. And I have the lady information, I think on my computer, that proved it was a fraud and it was a big hoax, right? So I got that. So the birth certificate is non-existent. My allegation is that these movies is telling the story of Barack Hussein Obama, right? And at this point, I said he was the demon seed out of Rosemary's Baby. And studying Rosemary's Baby brought me to this movie called Demon Seed, which furthers the story. Right? Demon Seed is a 1977 American science fiction film, and we went over all that. Right? Okay. So let's go down a little further, see what we see. Okay, now we get into the plot. Alright, now. It says, Harris demonstrates Proteus to his computer sponsors, explaining that the sum of human knowledge is being fed into its system. Proteus speaks using subtle language that mildly disturbed Harris's team. Remember what they've been showing y'all with those artificial intelligence bots? This is it right here. Right? Remember? Proteus speaks using subtle language that mildly disturbs Harris' team. Now I can go and show y'all that. You go over here to YouTube, and then you say strange AI quotes. Okay, we got a 4:37 start time, and we're gonna bring this monkey on home. So, in searching those crests, quick recap. The day I was exposed to the key that led me to the Ankh. Earlier, I found everything on this Ankh except for a couple of things. So I'm going to see if we can't find out what these Hey, y'all all right in there? Alright, so I ran into a little technical difficulty for a minute there. So we're going to go and see if we can't bring this thing on home. So earlier, we was going over the symbols, and we was looking at the Ankh. The only thing I had to find is these two upright arms, right? And what these mean, the pyramids, right? Now, I noticed something about these arms is, unlike normal Egyptian glyph, these are disconnected here, right? And I noticed that there's a similarity in the ends at the top, but this one is a little bit bigger. So that's an incongruence